Welcome to Blonde Bombshell Belief, Blonde Bombshell Belief B3. Okay, so I went and had hair therapy today. See, all my hair is still there, just done. And I didn't feel like putting on makeup late at night, so hence the sunglasses. I did have a glass of orange juice before I came to you all, and I discovered this new medicine today called Mucinex. It is the bomb, okay? Although it makes my lips dry. Don't really understand that part. Um, it's still there, but not as bad. It says you can't exceed, I think they said 4 doses, and I've only had 2 doses today. And it's maximum strength. We got it down at B&D for $1. And of course it was expired last month, but hey, you know what? I don't care. If it's going to kick this cold in the butt, right now I have had it. Let's take this first thing here. I've got this kind of broken down into parts. First thing is, let's cover my breathing machine. Now, in case you all missed it, around Thanksgiving, my breathing machine, the needle broke off into the tubing. Now, they say that you cannot replace just parts anymore. You have to take a perfectly good working machine and trade it in for a machine that you don't know, A, the lasting power of it, B, if it was made in the United States, and C, why can't they just fix it? I mean, it's a little needle that connects a tube. And all these people that we've talked to, from Carl Medical Supply to In-Home Medical Supply to the pharmacist at Walmart, say that nowadays it's just not done that way. How have we become this nation that just dispenses of something if one little thing goes wrong? That's totally uncool. That's my rant for the evening. Well, actually I have several rants. You know me, I don't keep my mouth shut on much. The next thing, Christmas. Ugh. I'm trying to do things with a credit card company and staying within realm. I had a good talk with a bank today. It's like we bond, like almost every week. They say that by the end of 2016, things are going to be looking better than what they did in the beginning of 2016, and to keep my chin up. Yeah, that's really hard to do right now, but I'm doing the best that I can. When you don't have that buying power that you used to have, getting these pep talks is like, every time it's just like a little slap in the face, because you can't do what you used to do. You can't buy what you used to buy. And I know, that's the way it should have been all along, and we all live on a budget, yada yada. However, my situation was a different kind of situation from y'all. You see, with my situation, it's a whole trust issue to believing in people, the best in people, that I got kicked in the teeth, literally. But I don't want to rehash old things. I just want to say, this is where I'm at. I'm accepting it. Things won't be like they used to be. I've got to be within a budget and move forward. Will people be happy this holiday season? I don't know about them, but I'm already depressed, and we're only on the first day of December. I don't know how this is going to turn out. There was a request, what Christmas song can I relate to? Right now, I would say Blue Christmas. I was going to try and sing it, but I work the next 3 days, and I don't want to push the voice. Will this be my only video tonight? Probably. How do I see this holiday season going? Notice these are all questions that have been inboxed to me. How do I see this holiday season going? Like every holiday season. Stress, more stress, and unhappiness. All wrapped in one nice, neat little package. the way the credit card company broke it down for me, and I I don't know if I told you this last video or not. I have a $10 spending limit for my family as a gift that I would choose for myself, and a $10 gift card to their favorite store. So they are on a $20 limit, period. That's all they get. Uh, that part is hard for me, but I'm learning to accept it, and I'm sure that they will have to learn to accept that too. And for I had delivered my first Christmas gift today to our hairdresser. My grandparents are doing a candy jar filled with a mix of peppermints and spearmints, and then I gave her an ornament for her tree. And even if she doesn't have a tree, it's a great ornament. It says that something like my hairdresser is extraordinaire or something like that, or an extra sheer above. But it's hard. It's very hard. I don't know. The next question was, why don't you want anything for Christmas? Well, as the credit card company told me, don't ask for something, and that way you would have to give back what you receive. And they know that I'm a giver, and I love to give gifts rather than receive. That's what got me in this mess. So basically, cut that off, and if I can, and if I have the ability, give a small gift. Like my work cards, we got these ornaments. There was 20 ornaments in a package, and I'm going to put an ornament in each card that I hand out, and that's what they're getting for Christmas. I've got a Secret Santa gift that I've worked very hard on. Very proud of that gift, by the way. And going to deliver that on Secret Santa Day, December the 15th. I got my bosses a gift. I really think they'll enjoy it, and they have a Christmas card. Nothing extraordinaire. Just enough to say, Merry Christmas, and that's it. The next question. Did you buy Santa a gift? I still have Santa's gifts from last year when they were not used, and they're still downstairs wrapped up. It would take a Christmas miracle for my Christmas wish to come true. And since those don't happen these days, I'm being realistic and saying, bah humbug. But other than that, I'm going to leave that there. I've been working out a lot. I am very hard on myself. Even through this illness, I have not, this is my first night off in a long, long time. I want to say about 2.5 weeks. And I only take the nights off that we go get our hair done because I like my hair to stay great for the next day. In fact, I use a sleeping cap and a shower cap in the morning when I take my shower, so my hair's not messed up. It's just very hard for me this season. Harder than usual, and I think it's just because of this whole credit counseling and learning to live on a budget, which I know I should have learned all along, to the breathing machine. But I keep saying the biggest blessing this year has been my piano. And it's true, because it's been my best outlet for when I feel so frustrated. Since we have the little Christmas tree in the front room, it's very hard to get to the piano. However, we have to put the gifts in another part of the room, which is a very inconvenient thing. But we don't really have a real Christmas tree, which I just like that. But I know with Sam and Peanut and with Grandma, a little tabletop tree is nice, I guess. My holiday spirit is not here. I'm looking at the holiday season as a chore, as a checklist. And, They say Santa checks his list twice and then he's on his merry way. The bombshell makes a list, checks it twice, and then that's the holiday. To me anymore, it's like, get a gift and make sure everybody gets one, and I really don't care at this point. That's just the way I feel. I mean, I'm all for the reason for the season, Jesus, and, we all should be grateful and all that. But I don't see why we all should put ourselves in such debt when it should be just the thought that counts. That's one thing that the counselors have hit home on. So, going forth, the holiday season is a chore. One of my friends had a relationship question. So I'm going to do my best to answer it. They said, and I quote, they were going through a relationship downtime. And I said, what is a downtime? And they said, well, we both decide to take a time out. Now, to me, if you're in a relationship, why are you taking a time out? There is no time out. Now, I know I really have no room to speak on this issue, but since you asked my opinion, let me be blunt. Put some romance back into your relationship. If one of you is wanting a timeout, even if it's a mutual thing, maybe do something like the 12 days of Christmas that leads up to Christmas. And it doesn't have to be like an outstanding gift. Like on the first day, maybe you give her a greeting card. And if you want to do 24 days of this stuff, be my guest. But do something each and every day to let that girl or boy know that you are in their life. A. B. You respect them. C. You want to understand where they're coming from. You want to relate so you can communicate. And then you can have an actual relationship where there's no shutdown of communication, nobody running off, and no friends trying to get involved. So, I guess what I'm basically saying here is, if you trust each other enough, you don't really need to overdo it. Just the mere thought that counts. So, let's say day one. Maybe she doesn't like roses, or maybe he doesn't like candy, but you do something that they like or would like to do. If that's watching wrestling, or if that's going to a movie, or if that's, I don't know, going golfing, or bowling, or shopping, just as long as you do something together. It's not that hard. I've read all these dating books, from Steve Harvey to Dr. Phil. And, I'll say it again. Where Steve Harvey was concerned, he says you leave them with a idea of mystery, girls, to get the guy more interested into you. So, like, after the first hour, you're supposed to leave on the first date. Had I done that with Mr. CB, and had I not been an open book, I don't know. There's so many ifs, whats, maybes, and whatevers. The thing of it is, if you can't be open, honest, and communicate, you have nothing. And I can't say that enough. It's very crucial that you take the time and the effort to listen, to understand, to know each other, to grow together. You just don't want to grow apart. And being in a timeout, you can't have a timeout and be in a relationship. That's a way for them to go find somebody else while you're sitting on the sidelines. Do you really want that? Think about that now. Now, another thing. The breathing thing, it's sometimes I have to take a moment, so bear with me. In the inbox, on these dating sites, I love the questions that I get. They are so far-fetched sometimes. Like, you get these people in their, I'm going on that age I don't want to discuss, And these young kids, 19 to 22, want to message me and tell me how fine I am, which I already know how fine I am. I don't need you telling me. And, uh, you know, am I set in my ways? Would rather have just one man and work things out and be able to talk like two mature adults? Yes. However, at this point in line where I'm at, I don't know, maybe I'm too picky, but there's really only one man I would like to have as a Santa Claus, and I don't see that happening because he won't communicate. So, moving forward, back to my friends that I want to help out here. You have to make time for each other. You can't just say, I'd like to spend time with you and get to know you more, but you know what? Tuesday night, I've got to hang out with the boys. No, there is no boys. You make time for each other. You get to know each other. And that's another thing. Don't take excuses. Don't make excuses. If it's important, take the time to get to know the person. Okay, next question. Okay, this is a good one. Do you honestly feel that it's hard to relate to people with your PCOS? Yes, there's moments and times I'm sure that my moodiness is not the greatest in the world, and some of my friends have no clue on how to relate with me. But they just deal as I do. And it's not the easiest thing having PCOS, especially this time of year. Excuse me. We were out at Walmart, take for instance this evening, and I went down the cracker aisle, and there was this couple with this little boy, and he was just crying his little eyes out. And I walked up, and I would love to be a mom, okay? So the very first thing I do, I'm like, oh my goodness, why are you crying? Don't you know Santa Claus is watching you? And if you keep that crying up, he ain't going to come visit you. Boy, do you know he stopped crying just like that. I don't know, but I would sure love to be blessed. And I guess that's a big, big blessing this year that I'm hoping for, especially at my age. But there we go again with that thing. Age is just a number. And if you, in one of my books that I just read, which was an outstanding book, by the way, if you get the chance, pick up Karen Kingsbury. I believe it's called either a thousand memories or something to do with 1,000. Anyway, it was the most outstanding book because the girl had cystic fibrosis, and she guarded herself so closely. She didn't want to fall in love because what man would want her with her cystic fibrosis, and she knew she was destined to die. Well, the guy that she fell in love with, he guarded himself because he didn't want to fall in love because he's seen what love did to him, his mom and dad, and he was like, well, if that's what you love, when love happens to you, then why even get involved? So with both backgrounds being bad, and they continued to get to know each other on this rodeo circuit, oh my land, it was just an outstanding read because she needed a lung transplant, and her father and him ended up giving a lung. And while it did buy her some time, and yes, she died at the end of the book, saddest book I ever read, but the best book. I know that makes no sense. It was just like, that is the definition of love. And of course, when they were getting married, they did the Corinthians verse that's deep to my heart. It's my favorite Bible verse. Love is patient, love is kind. So what I say to you all, read that book. What advice can I give you going forth in this holiday season? I would say it's not all about the gifts. It's about the moments you make during the holiday season. So don't go out there and try to spend every moment of every cent that you have in trying to buy someone's happiness because it's only going to make you unhappy. And buy stuff within your budget, yet reminds them of you that you bought something that they would enjoy. That's another part of the credit counseling. Anyway, I'm feeling a little bit better. Like I said, this Mucinex stuff, it's a blessing. It has done a lot of work for me. I will be working out again, but I plan on seeing you guys, well, probably Saturday night. So stay tuned. Not this Saturday. Next Saturday. I'm going to be working a lot, so I wish I could go see Chris Young. Really, really bad. I love that man. He's going to be up at Moline, Illinois. And we all know I wanted to go see him this year, July 22nd. Didn't get to go see him. 2017, that's going to be my Chris Young year. Saying that right now. What do I think of the Luke Bryan situation? Because the fan at this concert, I feel like the fan at this concert provoked him. And they had the intention of doing so. They had a sign made up in the crowd that was perverse. I'm not going to repeat it because I find it offensive. And they made a hand gesture which was perverse. How do I feel that Luke handled the situation? Well, to me, when you're singing a song like he was singing, and yes, he has an image to uphold, but yet the fans know which buttons to push. And to me, they egged the situation on. The security wasn't that great. They could have been better. So in all, and what do I feel in the situation? I feel like Luke did I probably would have punched the man too. So I just think Luke was in the right. Just saying. With that being said, I'm calling it a night. God bless. And happy holidays from your blonde bombshell.